Hey guys, this is Jamie Calloway here, and I am going to do a collab video with the Razman, which I already introduced him. But would you like to say a few words?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today?
All right,
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
you're welcome. Okay, so before I get to the video, go subscribe to the Razman. Go subscribe to my second channel in case I get suspended again, and follow me on Twitter. Links are all in the description. And what we're going to talk about today is King of the Ring and MVP's release. Now, I know talking about King of the Ring is a little bit late since it's what, like Thursday?
Yeah.
But just bear with us. So, MVP's release. Raz, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was completely out of nowhere, Jamie. It really was. Because
Yeah.
as stupid as this may sound, usually when a guy gets a new theme song, it means they're getting ready to push him. And MVP just got a new theme. And I know he'd been, complaining on Twitter and various outlets out there on the internet that he was being misused and he wasn't happy. But I thought they'd all worked out internally, and it looked like because he was going out there teaming with Rey Mysterio recently, confronting Alberto Del Rio recently, it looked like they were really going to push him. So this to me was just a shocker and a real shame because I think MVP was an untapped talent in a lot of respects. I think he could have been good, and it makes you wonder: is the WWE actually really racist? Because it seems like a lot of cuts are blacks. We're not saying every cut's black, but it seems like every time that a black guy starts to move up, he gets cut.
Yeah. I think it's a shame that he got released. I mean, I thought he was getting a push. Since he's got the new theme song, and he was feuding to get the title. He actually got a chance at the title, but he did not win it, and we just found out that he got released. I think that kind of sucks. But I mean, if he's being misused, then he should go somewhere else. And a lot of guys that start to get pushed that are black end up not going through with their push. They get de-pushed. And look at Kofi. And
Yeah,
not to be racist or anything, but I don't really like some of the black wrestlers because they make them have the really stupid, gimmicks and everything. But I do like Kofi. I do like Kofi.
well, yeah, but Kofi's a good example of what you were saying because Kofi came in with that stupid Jamaican gimmick that made no sense and made him sound awful. And then they dropped that out of nowhere, and he's finally himself, and he does it, and he's in a feud with Randy Orton, who was a heel at the time, and he was absolutely on fire. And then where do they go from that? Absolutely nowhere. Kofi plummets to the bottom of the earth and just disappears. So I don't know what WWE is thinking
You know
sometimes.
what I don't like is that they give a lot of the really bad gimmicks to like some of the black wrestlers, and they probably do have good talent. It's just they give them these ridiculous, stereotypical gimmicks, and I'd rather see them wrestling. I don't want to see them, dancing up there like R-Truth going, "What's up?" and time to get crunk. I want to see wrestling. Of course, this is the WWE, but
Yeah, it is the WWE, but it just, I don't know. It's like maybe they're afraid of the athleticism because a lot of black athletes, some of them are more athletic than white athletes. So maybe they're afraid of that and they don't know how to push that correctly. Who knows what they're thinking? But yeah, MVP's release was a real shocker.
yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see if he goes to TNA now, I guess.
Yeah, so now on to Raw. Raz, your thoughts on Raw?
Well, my thoughts on Raw, if you saw my latest video, you already know a lot of what I'm going to say, but I'm going to try to say it in a different way here on Jamie's channel. First problem I had was the King of the Ring tournament, even though it took place on Raw, was kind of being treated like a pay-per-view, the way it was being built up. And I thought the matches were good, but they weren't great. The opener between Daniel Bryan and Alberto Del Rio was really, really good. And the final match between John Morrison and Sheamus was really, really good. But all the matches in between were just quick and not really good. And the other thing is, you've got the finals between John Morrison and Sheamus, and they give the King of the Ring to Sheamus. And I don't agree with that because I think that John Morrison is the guy that actually needed pushed.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think we all wanted Morrison to win. And even Sheamus wanted Morrison to win. Inside joke.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. But,
But overall, I thought Raw was okay. I mean, I think the 3 hour Raws are a bit overdone and a bit unorganized. But I really, really wanted Morrison to win it. And some of the matches were okay, but I didn't like some of the outcomes of some of the matches. I wish it were differently, or, some of the matches were at different times, instead of having one match that I didn't want first or, second or third. I wish they could have done that a bit differently. But Raz, what were you saying?
yeah, I was just going to say that the thing with Morrison is that's what the King of the Ring tournament is supposed to be all about. Is that's supposed to be about elevating a guy. And Sheamus didn't really need elevated because he's already a two-time champion. Yeah, his reign sucked, but that's all to do with WWE. It's not a reflection of Sheamus. And it's like WWE forgets what the King of the Ring is all about by giving it to Sheamus.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
So, what match did you like the most? For me, I would have to say Daniel Bryan and the Sheamus match. Don't get me wrong, the Sheamus versus Morrison match was good, but I did not like the outcome. And it kind of pissed me off that Daniel Bryan lost first. At that point,
It really did piss me off too. I mean, Daniel Bryan, I think, is arguably the best wrestler on the planet. And for him to lose to Del Rio was kind of like, why? But I think they wanted to make it clear, I guess, in their minds that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to win. So they took him out in the first round.
well, true, but he already has the U.S. title, so.
Yeah, he does have the U.S. title, so he really didn't need King of the Ring.
But what really pissed me off is the Cena crap. Like, seriously, what was the point of Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett and the stipulation with Cena? I know it's already, but still, can't you take him out for like, I don't know, a month? I mean, it hasn't even been, what, a week yet, and he's already back on Raw. Couldn't you have him out for a little bit? I mean, it really pissed me off. Like,
Yeah,
he can be in the crowd, but why is
I
he
mean,
even there? Fans can't go backstage. How is this fair? How is this stipulation fair?
No, yeah, it's not. And you and I watched a lot of this Raw together on Skype, and we were talking about it, about what was the point of it. Because, he turns around the week after giving a fired speech, which was as close to a retirement
It
speech
was actually really
as you're
good, by
ever
the
going
way.
to get. And yet he turns around the next week, takes out one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, takes out a guy backstage, and then has a huge backstage brawl. I mean, you could argue that John Cena dominated Monday Night Raw when he's technically not supposed to be on the Raw roster. That's the kind of thing that when you watch professional wrestling, you're like, why am I still a wrestling fan? Because it just infuriates you.
Well, I know it's John Cena and all, but why not a month or? But it hasn't even been a week, and he's already back on Raw. That really pissed me off.
Yeah, it really pissed me off too, like I said. And I guess the only logic really would be that they were saying, oh, well, it's Christmas time, we need his merchandise sales. Okay, if you know you need his merchandise sales, don't put him in a freaking storyline where he's supposed to be fired.
Don't have the match in the first place. Do it after Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we're probably going on way too much about Cena, but yeah, it was dumb.
Fuck Cena. That was gay shit right there. But anyway.
Yeah, it was.
But, okay, so the last match between Miz and, excuse me, Lawler. What do you have to say about that match?
Wow. Okay.
Excuse me.
I guess, first of all, we have to talk about WWE convoluted logic, because in a way it made sense for Jerry Lawler to wrestle that match, because A,
Yeah,
it was
King of the
King
Ring,
Night.
King Lawler. Haha. Hilarious.
Yeah. B, A, it was his birthday night, and B, it was the King of the Ring tournament night. So it made kind of sense for him to be booked against The Miz, but here's the thing. The Miz is your WWE champion. Just a week ago, he cashes in Money in the Bank. This is supposed to be your signal for a new era on Monday Night Raw. And everybody's been talking about The Miz. Whether you love him or you hate him, he's gotten the whole YWC and wrestling fans in general talking because he's got great potential. And yet you put him in the ring with a 61-year-old guy, and he can't even beat the guy cleanly. He has to have the help of Alex Riley and Michael freaking Cole.
Although when he was
What
dragging,
the heck was that?
although when he was dragging him, that I thought that was kind of funny. But I mean,
Yeah, that was
he can't even win clearly. Couldn't you have a clear win with him? If that's how you're gonna book him now, where he has to have 5,000 people to help him defend his title, then that's not gonna be good at all. Although, and also Lawler, I know he's like 60 something years old, or however old he is. He didn't sell well at all. But though, in the match, there were actually some really good spots in the match. Like when they went through the table and stuff.
Yeah, there were great
That was
spots
actually pretty
in the
good.
match, but yeah, you and I were talking about it when we were watching Raw, and we were saying that Lawler can't sell. He just can't sell. And, None Your Hot Chick, who's a good friend of ours, said, well, they didn't really use chair shots back in the day when he wrestled, but does that really make an excuse for him forgetting how to sell? Because you get hit in the back with a steel chair and you do nothing.
All right.
I mean, he didn't even move.
All right, so thank you, Raz, for being a guest. Would you like to say anything?
You're welcome.
It's the end of our video. See ya.